So today is Saturday, usually the best day for Ubering. And I started at 8:30, started the apps at 8:30, still sitting at home, but nothing happened until 9. And so technically my first passenger was at 9. And so far now it's 20 minutes past 1. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6 rides, and my gross revenue is $88. My first trip was a couple from my area with a couple of suitcases, so right away I assumed they were going to the YYC. And of course Uber never tells us where the ride is going, it just tells me how far the pickup is and the name. And in my case it said like 2 minutes, 1 kilometer pickup, and you can say accept, or if you don't do anything it'll expire, right? But so a young couple going to YYC, and of course they were going to departures, which at airport is the second level. And sometimes Uber allows you to pick up passengers even without going to the waiting area, specialized parking there off Barlow Trail. And so when I was in the departures, just when they closed the doors, my phone beeped and it says basically you have an offer, and I look closely, it says arrivals. And because it's all one-way traffic, so I had to do a big circle, like 1 kilometer at least, but take the curb lane, and that takes me to arrivals. And picked up a guy there and took him to Martindale, which is kind of like south of my area in northeast Calgary. And then from there, maybe I waited a couple of minutes, and there was a passenger 1 kilometer away. It was a lady going to the airport. And I told her, I said, hey, today it's all about the airport, like you are my ride number 3, and it's all evolves around the airport. And she says, oh, I'm not flying, I'm going to a hotel in the airport area, I'm working. And so we started chatting, and turns out we were talking about real estate, how I bought my apartment, how it's doing great, the price goes up. And she says, oh, well, we're actually moving to that area where you live, Skyview Ranch, but we bought a house. And she tells me all these numbers, like she says $600,000 house, it's 2014, so 10 years old. And then we keep talking, and so she clearly works at a hotel at a minimum wage job. And I said, what does your husband do? I'm just curious, how did you do? Oh, and she said they got off with 5% down. That really got me thinking. I said, wait, and I told her about my experience. I said, because I was self-employed, the bank wanted $35,000, which is ridiculous since I was buying a $180,000 apartment. So this was over 25%, I think. So she got a $600,000 house with 5% down. And that's why I'm asking, like, so you're doing probably minimum wage. What does your husband do, right? So because you cannot buy a house like that with low salary, like a hotel cleaning staff. And she says, oh, I'm single. Okay, but she says there's 4 of us, we are siblings, and 4 of us, we are buying this house. And I said, okay, so you applied together, and I'm guessing you all working. You see, so it's so much better in Canada and US to be an employee. When you need to borrow money, banks really don't like people like me, self-employed. Well, now I'm not self-employed. Back then I was self-employed, and they really didn't want to give me the money to buy the apartment. But that was a curious experience. So I took this lady to a hotel. So I said, you're working just like me. We're working Saturday, right? And then from there, my ride number 4 was I started driving towards a coffee shop, and the app turned me around, gave me this new ride, pretty much in the same area where I dropped off that cleaning lady. He was an American guy from Buffalo, New York, and he was going from his hotel to a car rental agency, which was nearby. So it was maybe like $6 or $8 ride, But cool, we were chatting, you know, he's from Buffalo, and I said, hey, I know that town because I used to live in Cambridge, Ontario, and I was a trucker, so I always was crossing into US with a load either in Port Huron, Michigan, or Buffalo, New York. And so it was cool. And so yeah, I dropped him off at the rental agency, and then nothing was happening after that. So I took a lunch break, probably half an hour. I grabbed a coffee, put the apps on pause, and then I started driving home because I thought, hey, I was at like $35, and I thought I'm just gonna call it a day, go watch TV or something, because, you know, usually Saturdays are busy, but at 10:30 it slows down. Neither Lyft nor Uber had anything. And so when I was like a kilometer away from my home, Uber, of course, Lyft is always worse in terms of rides. So Uber gives me a ride, and again, all I see is that the guy is a kilometer away, and his name and the time it would take me to reach him. No idea where he's going, and I thought, okay, I'm hoping he's not going too far, so then I'm just go home. And then I pick up this guy, and he says, oh, we have to stop, pick up a friend of mine on the way. And I said, did you put it in the app? He says, no, I don't know how to do that. And I said, okay, just tell me where to go. The app will calculate the distance based on that. But, you know, usually Uber pays us a bit extra if there's a stop, right? And so this guy did not do that, but it's okay. So we went just maybe 400 or 500 meters off route to pick up his friend. So he was going to Toyota dealership some 30 kilometers away. And I said, you know, there's a Toyota on Country Hills 5 kilometers away. And he said, oh, I bought a car from that Toyota, so we have to go there. And I said, what did you buy? He said, RAV4, Toyota RAV4. And I said, how long did you have to wait? Because some people were saying now it's like 2 years. He says, 1 month. How much was the car? $57,000. Pretty much like mine. Mine was 50, Jeep Compass. So that was pretty cool. So two guys were going to pick up their brand new car, you know. So I'm telling you, I love this job because it's, you kind of like part of lives of people, and you see what other people are doing. And the most weird ride was my ride number 6. Of course, I'm gonna have more rides. When it was busy, I think one Saturday I did like 18 rides. So now it's 1:26 p.m. and I only have 6. So my ride number 6 was right when I drop off that guy at the Toyota. There was a pickup 1 kilometer away, and it says, I think Michelle or something, and it says Hertz Car Rental Agency. Okay, so somebody dropped off a car, and now they need to get back to their home or the airport or something, right? And I show up there. Of course, it's not just one lady, it's a guy, huge dude in tats, and he looks at me, like stares at me, daggers, you know, like, I said, is this for Michelle? Like, they opened the door, you know. I said, for Michelle, right? Yeah, okay. And he's like, yeah. And the guy goes in there, and the girl sits behind me. And I look where we are going. Like, as soon as I click pickup, right, finally I can see where we're going. And it's 30 kilometers, again, but deep south, on Deerfoot Trail, Highway 2, past the ring road. And that's where I'm sitting now. So I'm sitting at this, I just dropped them off somewhere over there. It was a basically apartment building, kind of like my condo. And on the way there, I saw that there's this little plaza here with DQ, liquor store, you know, there's a 7-Eleven. Might go grab more coffee here. And the most important thing is there's the shade. So my car is over there. I dropped off a Russian couple. They came to Nissan to pick up, to buy. They didn't finalize the deal yet, but they're looking for like an SUV like mine. And I remember that these are the guys that advertise this Suburban. And if you remember me talking about secret investment, that's what I meant. I want to buy this SUV. It's pretty expensive, but it's 1 year old. It only has 16,000 kilometers. So 5.3 V8. And the only problem is that it's cloth seating. But it can sit 7 passengers. See the 1 and plus 3, 4, and 3 in here, and all the seats go down and flat. Not like in my Compass. They stay at an angle. You see here? This is amazing. You can put like 6 dead bodies in here. You know, this would be a dream car for a mafia, but for me it means people at the airport can put a lot of luggage in here, or if you pop it up, you can really take 7 passengers, you know. So tie downs in here. So a great looking Suburban, so Chevy. But this is a really basic model. I asked the guy, I said, how do you close the trunk? Like, is there like a button somewhere? He says, no. It's a base model, so everything is manual. All right. And I said, how did you get it? He says, a guy came in, they needed 2 cars, and so they traded this Suburban in, and they got a Nissan Pathfinder and Nissan Kicks. So they got one big SUV and 1 small car. But the color is great. The tires, guys, the tires. I don't think I ever had 22-inch tires. These are 275 50 R22 Bridgestone. Look at the rims. Yeah, it needs cleaning up. If I were to get this, I would definitely pay to somebody to change to leather. Maybe leave these, the driver's seat, maybe leave it cloth, or vinyl. Maybe change everything to vinyl. And they left the car unlocked for me. They're still looking for a guy that I talked to. Like one of their colleagues basically just came out with me and opened the car. So I can look at it. I love the lights. Man, like this thing looks so aggressive, you know. This would be a dream for Uber, for everything. So again, the only thing I see, so late model year, a reliable car, lots of capacity for luggage and people, excellent engine, 5.3 V8, proven, good on fuel, but tiny baby display, smaller than in my Jeep Compass, and okay, storage over here, cups, so I got some free. Okay, so they do have, again, I see no climate control. You have to adjust your temperature with these, which is like 18th century. You cannot set up the temperature, I don't think. Okay, so really basic, like everything, like actually feels a bit cheap, like the plastic. But you know, if for a rental, I think it would be nice. I mean, rental and Uber. That would be my plan. So yeah, it's funny how I was thinking of coming to this place, and I had passengers that were coming here. And Chevys, honestly, I never had a Chevy. I had the Ram, I had Ford, I had Mazda, I had a Pontiac, and of course I have Chrysler, Challenger, Charger, Hellcat, and now Jeep. Oh, by the way, I don't remember if I said this, but when I took it for oil change, they also did a recall. Turns out there was a recall on the display, and that's what, you know, when it was shutting off. But look at my Compass, right? Of course, it's much smaller. You can only sit 3 people in the back. But look at the display. 2 times bigger, right? Leather everywhere. Climate control. I can set the temperature by degrees. So this is definitely much higher trim, even though the vehicle itself is way cheaper. But I need something like this. I think I would look good in this. What do you guys think?